This movie is so fucking good. Yo, what's up everyone? This is Chris here from MTR Network. Here on this channel, you guys know what I was here for. We're going to review Black Panther. This film. I mean, yo, listen. We made it. We finally fucking made it. We had all those jokes about how we might not be able to make it to Black Panther. Yo, this week, it is happening. It is going down. Everybody's going to see it. Listen, like, shout out to Justin from 3/5 Podcast. I've actually seen it twice now already because of him. Our press screener was tonight, Tuesday, but Justin was able to get me press access. Well, not press access. I stood in line and waited like everybody else for the Twitter Live Q&A they did on Monday. So shout out to Justin from 3/5 for that. But before we get into the review, I just want to say real quick, thank you to everybody who has subscribed to the channel so far and has been supporting us. The channel is going great. Thank you to everybody who supported the podcast. I want to shout out and ask people to please go and subscribe to Movie Trailer Reviews Podcast because we are going to have a ton. I'm going to have this video review. You guys are going to see my animation. You're going to see how excited I am about this film. But then Phenom and I are going to have another non-spoiler review. And there's going to be a bunch of spoiler reviews also coming out on the podcast feed. And also for premium members, you'll get some spoiler reviews for Black Panther as well. So make sure you subscribe to Movie Trailer Reviews Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to this channel here. Hit the notify button so you're notified whenever I put up a new video here. Look, you know what you're here for. Let's get right into talking about this fucking movie, all right? So earlier this week on Monday, I released a video character corner, if you will. We're kind of go through the comic book history of T'Challa, kind of condensed it into like 25 minutes. Supposed to be 20 minutes, did 25. But in that I kind of went through like, listen, this character from 1966, all right? You have so much history with this character, and so what makes the story of the movie work so well is that Ryan Coogler and Joe Robert Cole have really taken, they took all the stuff from the different eras, from Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, Christopher Priest, Hudlin, and even the Coach stuff, and they've taken little bits and pieces of that and they've kind of combined them all and to make this really tight, really well-formed story that's actually updated for the modern time. So the story of this film is basically, you want to break it down, it's the idea of, should Wakanda stay isolated or should it use its resources to help help the world, but mostly, honestly, black people, people of African descent who are living in these other societies and living with oppression and things like that, and can Wakanda do something to help that? And that's literally the clash in this film between the two main characters, Chadwick Boseman's T'Challa and Michael B. Jordan's Erik Killmonger. And I'm not going to go into the kind of spoilers of what really ties the two together there, but that's the base of the story. And it's basically like, so the film takes place like literally a week or so after Civil War ends. And so you have Prince T'Challa becoming king, taking over for his father. And, there's that line in the trailer you've seen where Nakia says, hey, you get to decide what kind of king you want to be. And that's literally what this film is. It's, does T'Challa stay with the old way of thinking of what his father did and the mistakes his father made that kind of led to, a villain like Erik Killmonger? Or does he take, Wakanda to the future and opening them up their secrecy, because Wakanda is literally hiding from the world, and what they should do? And it's a very relevant conversation. You have characters in Wakanda who, kind of are like, no, we bring in refugees, that's gonna, they bring their problems. It's literally like what you hear today when we have, Republicans talking about not letting in people into the United States. It's like, you have, like, it feels like Black Panther, and it feels like the comics, and it's taking these different themes from the comics, and it's bringing it in and making it realistic, and it's done so well. It just seamlessly moves, and it's really well paced, and like you feel it, like you really fucking feel this shit, and it is truly amazing thing that they've done here with the story. And I think that, and I'll say this all the time, like some of the things I have problems with some of these other films are that they don't stick to the source, and that they change too much. And I want to really like bring that back. Like it's not that you can't change from the source. I think, especially when you're adapting a movie from comic books or something like that, you have to change from the source. I mean, shit, I love Civil War, Captain America Civil War. They definitely changed that from the source material. But what you do is when you change from the source, you have to keep the core there. You have to keep the core of the characters. You have to keep the core of the conflict and what's going on there. And that's what the story in Black Panther does. But it not only does it keeps that core, but it then resonates with the audience. And listen, I know some people are going to be like, oh, why you got to bring up race? Listen, this is a black-ass fucking film, and it's going to resonate with black audience. It'll resonate with other people as well. It'll definitely resonate with other minorities and other marginalized groups, but it's definitely going to resonate with black people because it deals with certain aspects that we as black people, particularly black people in America, and having been displaced from Africa through slavery, what we dealt, it's going to resonate because of what we had to deal with. And so that's what makes this story so good. And it's just, honestly, it's one of those things I can't believe fucking Disney let them make this fucking film. Like, I'm glad they did, but I just can't believe they gave them the freedom to do this. Look, it goes without saying, like, this is an all-star cast. Like, this is a cast. Here's how good this cast is. This cast is so good, and this movie is so stacked with people. I actually forgot that Sterling K. Brown was in this movie until he shows up, and I'm like, oh, that's right. He is in this fucking film. Like, that's how, like, it is, like, they literally got everybody. Like, and not only do they get everybody and all these people into this film, they all do a great job. Like, this is why I'm telling people, listen, you gotta listen to our movie trailer reviews podcast when we go in and talk about this, because I could talk about the cast and how well they do with each one of their characters for hours. Like, I could. I'm going to try to keep this short and stuff like that. Listen, obviously, Chadwick Boseman, I'm not even going to deal with him. Like, you know what you're getting with him. And I'm going to get into Michael B. Jordan a little bit later. So let's get into some of the other characters here. Letitia Wright as, first of all, she's having an awesome year. She was in Black Mirror. She was in the Black Museum episode of Black Mirror, 4 seasons of Black Mirror. If you watch that shitty film, The Commuter, she's in there for like a quick, hot second. She's in this film. I can't remember if she's going to be... I think she's also in Infinity War. And then she's also in Ready Player One. Like, she is having a monster fucking year. And she plays Shuri in this film. And, like, she's going to... like, I was going to say she steals the show. But then there's a couple other characters that I'm going to say steal the show. So then it becomes like every character steals the show. And every actor and actress steals the show. Like, it's so... I'm just going to say she's really fucking good. Like, she has some really great lines and really great jokes. And what... And this kind of goes to... like, so on Monday's screener that I saw was part of the Twitter Live screener. Twitter was doing something with IMAX. And the moderator in that was completely shitty. Like, fucking terrible. But the cast and the crew were really good. And executive producer Nate Moore was there, and he was talking about how in most films you get maybe one or two of, female archetypes in their films. In this film, you get at least 4 in the 4 main ones, in Shuri, Ramonda, Nakia, and Okoye. And each of them are different, and each of them interact with each other in different ways and have different opinions. They form their own opinions. They're their own fully formed characters. Like the way Ryan Coogler was able to direct this film and make sure that even the side characters were almost like main characters is truly amazing. And like Shuri's like that. Like she's a princess. She's T'Challa's sister, but she's also the smartest. One of one of the smartest people in the film. She's literally leading the Wakandan science department and makes all their toys. Like one of my favorite scenes in the movie. She's basically it's like James Bond and the Q scenes where James Bond will go in and meet Q and find all his toys. There's a scene like that with T'Challa and Shuri, and it's funny. It's heartwarming because the relationship between Shuri and T'Challa is just their brother and sister, and you feel that, and you feel that love. But then it's also, you see how smart she is, and that is just, it's amazing. It's amazing to see a young black female character in a film have that kind of development there. It's truly amazing. It just is. You have Nakia, who in the comics, she has a little bit of a problematic arc. And they kind of, well, first of all, dealing with Nakia, they really fixed her. She's really different from her comic book character, and she's like the spy of Wakanda. She goes out into the world and she does their spying. She has a relationship with T'Challa that's complicated and complex, but it's really good, and I really love what they do with her character. And she's one of the newer, if we won't say new guard, where she believes that Wakanda should be doing so much more with their technology and their resources to help other people in the world and the world at large, because they have so much. Okoye is the general of the Dora Milaje, and like again, I love what they've done here by making her a general and giving her a voice. Like there's times when T'Challa is sitting there with his council, and because she's the general, like Okoye is right there. Like you see her like making the decisions and joking with T'Challa, but still being serious and being loyal to not just him, but to Wakanda as a whole, and what she'll do to protect Wakanda. It's just what they've done with these characters and having these female characters. I think this is going to be something that, I mean, obviously, yeah, this is amazing. And I don't think for a big budget film we've ever seen anything like this for black female characters, particularly dark-skinned black female characters. But what Ryan Coogler and this team and this cast have done by doing this with this film, it'll then elevate it, I believe, for all female characters of all races, so that the next film that comes out there and does something like this can't half-ass it. I mentioned Wonder Woman before I was doing this film, and I'm not trying to shit on Wonder Woman, but it's very clear to me that Patty Jenkins and them were fighting against old stereotypes and old beliefs of WB execs. What Black Panther's doing with his female characters, I think, will then set the new bar, so that the next Wonder Woman film won't have to deal with trying to prove itself, because this film is going to prove that you can have female characters like this and make them fully formed, have them different, have them have their own opinions, have them, like, it was so funny, we were leaving the theater and we were saying that some of these characters in other films and lesser films would have been male characters. They would have made them male characters. Now that I think about it, I want to say that all the characters that T'Challa goes to for a fight, almost all of them, are female characters. And that is truly fucking amazing. So again, I didn't want to say showstopper, because again, there's just so many great people in this film, but gotta give a shout out. And really, we all knew that the female characters, just from the way that they were spotlighting them and the way they were showing them in the action scenes, and just how they were promoting them, getting their own character posters and things like that, we knew that they were going to be good. listen, I was not prepared for Winston Dukes in Baku. You know, like he's actually pretty funny in this film, and I don't mean that in a like it's too much humor type of way, but like he has some really just there's some points in this film where he does some things and you're just like, that's funny, that's hilarious, and just his annoyance, and he leads the Jabari tribe that's not with this film they mention the five tribes of Wakanda, and the Jabari tribe, the white gorilla tribe, they're up in the mountains. They don't stay down with the rest of Wakanda, and they're kind of isolated. And it's a pretty funny thing, and he does an amazing job. And I can't wait to see more of him. Like I need to see more of his character in other films because I think there's a lot there that's really really good. So I just had to give a shout out to him and spotlight that character because it was really really well done with him. Now, I guess the premiere for this was like 2 weeks ago, and so you start seeing some reviews, and some people were saying like, well, this is best villain Marvel's had, and something. So again, when you were hearing all this praise for this film, sometimes you would go, okay, but maybe calm it down a little bit, maybe land a little thick. But let me tell you something. Like Erik Killmonger and Michael B. Jordan's Killmonger is definitely up there in terms of great villains. And it's something I was thinking about when again, this is why I'm so glad I didn't do the review right after I saw the film on Monday. When you think about the MCU and the villains they've had, it's funny to me, but I think that, as what they might be the weakest films in the MCU, but the Thor films have generated, I think, two of the best villains up to this point in the MCU. In Loki, and then Hela. And I think that when I see Killmonger in this film, and I actually think he's better than both of those characters, those villains, because you can really relate to this character, and I'll get into that more. But I started thinking about why is it that Thor was able to do it, and then what do Thor and Black Panther have in common, that their villains are just get them there. And what it made me realize was like, well, they both involve like monarchies. They both involve kings and queens and princes and people trying to take over the throne. I mean, that's what Loki was trying to do in the first Thor movie. He was trying to take over the throne, and then in the last Thor movie, that's what Hela was trying to do: take over as Queen of Asgard and go from there. And in this film, in Black Panther, that's what Killmonger is trying to do. He's trying to take the throne of Wakanda. He believes he has the right. He has the right to the throne, and he wants to take the throne from T'Challa. And it makes me realize, like, well, yeah, of course, these would be the villains we like the most, because it's like why we like Game of Thrones. It's like the quest for the throne, the quest for the rightful heir is something that we just love to see. What makes Erik Killmonger so much different from Loki and Hela though is, so Loki wanted to be in charge so that people would love him. I mean, he's basically a child who felt like he wasn't loved. He wanted the love and the attention. And when he finally got the throne and pretended to be Odin in the last movie, what was he doing? He was just having people give plays to worship him and praise him. That's all he was doing. Hela got the throne, and what did she want to do? She wanted to destroy everything, right? The motivation of Erik Killmonger in Black Panther is what makes him such a good villain. And his motivation is it's anybody who's watched my character know what I'm about to say is villain agenda. It's my villain agenda, where he makes a lot of good points. Like you might not agree with his tactics, but just like Magneto, you might go, he's kind of got a point, and maybe we should hear him out. Like that is Erik Killmonger's basic motivation. Like you feel the emotional weight on him. You feel why he's angry and why he blames T'Challa and Wakanda and why he wants to do it. But then you also see what he wants to do. He doesn't want to take over the world, really. He wants to basically save it. His motivation is something that I believe that again, going back as a black person, being a person of a marginalized community, you are going to truly understand and feel and understand where Erik Killmonger is coming from. And Michael B. Jordan does a great job. Like, listen, I love Michael B. Jordan as an actor. You know, he was great. Ryan Coogler brings him with him. He brought him with him from Fruitvale Station to Creed, and now here. And listen, let me tell you something. I remember watching him in Chronicle, and I kind of wish he had been the lead character in Chronicle because I loved him in that film. Like he's a great actor, and what he does in this film as Erik Killmonger is just like you are going. It is full 100% villain agenda. You're gonna be watching the film going, like, no, I'm not saying that what he's doing is right, but I understand. Like, that's how it is. And I think that that's going to put him, that's what puts him there because you understand. Like, when you have a villain and you can understand their motivation, you can even feel a little bit of sympathy for him. And, you know, in a way go, well, you know, we can disagree. We can disagree on the tactics, but what he's saying isn't necessarily wrong. And I just love what he do. And what Coogler and them have done with that character is they've tied it. They made it so it's not a selfish reason for him wanting this stuff, but they've also tied it into like modern day life and how the world works. And honestly, this film ties really well into just the struggle of Black Americans, to be perfectly honest, and what they've had to go through. And that's a key part and key element of this film that honestly I really wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting, like, I was expecting it to be black. I was expecting it to be unapologetically black. I was not expecting that piece right there to connect so well with this film. I just wasn't, and it does, and it just draws you in. Oh man, this film is so fucking good, yo. I mean, look, we all know. You saw the hashtags. You know, Black Panther so lit. Like, is Black Panther first mainstream African American superhero character? Like, listen, and I'm sorry for anybody who's gonna be a little upset that I'm bringing up race, but this film is black as fuck, and it's unapologetically black. It goes there in certain ways. Again, this is one of those things that I go and I watch this film and I go, did Disney know what they were getting into? And like, of course they did, but I can tell that they didn't interfere. And this is something that you've seen from people say this about Marvel and Lucasfilms when they're doing the Star Wars films, that they don't let directors. You always see those people. You always see these old school, mostly white directors come out and complain about. You know, Ridley Scott recently did it with about Star Wars, about, you know, well, they're messing up by giving these by giving these big budget films to these directors that don't have experience with big budgets. That's where they're messing up, and they're not, you know, attracting us older directors, more seasoned directors, because they don't give us the freedom. Well, Black Panther, there's a bunch of other films that kind of prove him fucking wrong in that one, but Black Panther definitely proves him wrong in that one, just because it's very, very clear to me that Ryan Coogler got to make the fucking film he wanted to make. And you can see it in every aspect of this film. It's there. And, you know, again, there was a recent article, interview that Kevin Feige did, where they basically said that this film is up there in terms of their budgets with their, especially from last year. And I know Thor Ragnarok was like $180 million. I'm pretty sure this film was $200 million or maybe more. Because listen, I'll get into visuals later, but like, yes, like, so they let Ryan Coogler make the film he wanted to make, and it goes there with about colonization, about, you know, the struggles of Black America, the struggles of Africans, it goes into the struggle, and man, I was not expecting them to go there, and they fucking did. So yeah, it's black as fuck. I would just mention it before. Listen, this film is absolutely stunning visually. Like, it is almost like, again, it's very, very clear that this had a high budget because the detail and everything, the visual effects. You know, you've seen them. You've seen the trailer, so I'm not spoiling this. But the way T'Challa's suit comes onto him and comes off, the same thing with Erik Killmonger's suit. Like, it is there. The stealth ships they have, it's action packed. There's plenty of fucking action in this fucking film. It's like it's all over the fucking place. Like it's just you're like, oh my god. It's just the trailers and TV spots don't spoil anything because they keep showing you the same shots just in different order. Trust me, there's so much more of this film you have not seen, and it is fucking amazing. And just wait until you see this shit. And you can tell that they put money into this, not just, and gotta shout them out for this, not just money into the budget to do the film, but then to market it as well. Looking at you, Warner Brothers with Wonder Woman, and not really marketing that fucking film. Marvel marketed the fuck out of this film. They put a ton of money into visual effects. It looks amazing, and again, seeing a film with this many, I think there's only 2 white characters in this film that speak. And that's Andy Serkis' Ulysses Klaue, and then Martin Freeman's Everett Ross. And they're very not small roles, but like they're good in their roles and stuff like that. That's it. So you have a majority black cast, and they had this much money into it. Yo, this is fucking amazing, dog. I can't wait for more people to see this fucking film. All right, last thing, I just want to get into this, and I'll probably write an article to go more into details about this, but listen. I've been seeing a lot of memes and things like that, and people talking about, oh, well, why is this film so important? Listen, this film is important because of what it's going to inspire other people to want to do. You know, seeing a film with this many black characters, let's be honest, it's a black screenwriter, it's a black director, there's a black executive producer on it, you know, there's a black costume designer, there are black female characters that have major roles, and there are different archetypes in this film. You have black male characters, you have a very, I'm be honest, positive message in a way, even though it's a superhero film. This is going to inspire so many people. This is going to inspire some kid. Some kid who's going to go to the theater and they're going to be like 11 and 12, and they're going to see this film, and this is going to be the new normal for them. They're going to expect to see, you know, these fully formed black characters. And I can tell you, as somebody who's turning 36 soon, I did not have this growing up. Like, this is not something that I got to see. And so I'm so excited to see what other people are going to be able to do and feel inspired by this film and what it means just for, and not just for black people, but for anybody who's you know, who needs that inspiration, because this film is just a good fucking film. It is. I hate ranking the MCU films. I do. I hate ranking them. I don't believe in it. But I'll tell you this, man. This is it's there, man. Like I think that different films meet different, you know, needs for me, and so again, I hate ranking them. But this is the MCU showing off. This is the half court. This is Curry crossing 2 steps over the half court line and throwing up a shot, turning around before the ball even goes in, throwing his hands up because he knows the ball is going in. That's what Black Panther is. That's how good this fucking film is, and it means a lot. And it's going to, you know, it's going to inspire. You know, again, the first time I saw this film was at the Twitter IMAX thing with the Q&A, and Lupita said something about how her and Winston went to film school together, and they used to joke, you know, years ago about, you know, wouldn't it be cool we were in a Marvel film, and here they are. They're not just in a Marvel film; they're in the Marvel film. And you think about like that kind of inspiration, that somebody's going to see them and think, maybe I can go to film school and be an actor, or maybe I can go to film school and be a director, or maybe I can be a film school and go be a screenwriter or a costume designer, or, you know, a cameraman or something like that, like a comic book writer. creating a new character, an artist, something like that. Like, that's what's going to lead from this film. Like, I always hear people say, you got to build your own, build your own, build your own, build your own. Listen, in order to build your own, you got to be first inspired. If you're not inspired, you're not going to be able to build your own because you're not going to believe that you can even do it. And having that confidence in yourself is the first thing to build your own. Like, I don't like, not that I don't like talking about this, but it's like, I'm 10 years into the podcast game. We started our podcast back in 2008. We went from, getting 100 downloads, in, a month to now we get thousands of downloads in a day. That's how we've gone. And when I first started off podcasting, there was nobody else there to look off of or to build off of. I looked at, or at least no other black people, I went and did it anyway. Then I formed up with Rod and Karen from the Black Eyed Tips, Phenom from Where's My 40 Acres, Justin from 3/5, Aaron from Black Astronauts Podcast, like all these other black podcasters that, I met, and we inspired each other, and we formed, not a network, but just like a bond and a support group almost. And then I now have fans who have then come onto our network, the MTR network, and become podcasters themselves, or who have emailed me and said that I inspired them to become a podcaster and to follow their dream and things like that. Like, that's why this film matters. That's why this is important. Because in order for you to build your own, in order for some kid to go, hey, maybe one day I'm going to build my own movie studio and make my own films, they have to first see that somebody's there, that they're not alone. Because trust me, building your own can be lonely. It takes a lot of fucking work. It's not as easy as a lot of people who claim that you need to do that. It's not that easy. It's hard work. Very, very hard work. And, when you need that motivation to keep going, this is what you need. You need to feel that inspiration. And that's what makes Black Panther so important. And this is amazing. I can't, I've already seen it twice. I'm going to see it 2 more times just this weekend. Like, it's going to happen, man. This is fucking great. All right, guys, there you guys have it. That's my video review for Black Panther. Listen, this film, okay, score-wise, I guess, right? It's a 10 out of 10. Like, it's an 11 out of 10. Like, it's off the fucking chart. Like, there's no chart for this film. You were already going to go see it. You probably already have your ticket at least. You probably have 2 tickets for it already, because you're probably going to see it more than once already this weekend. Like, it's not hype. This film is fucking great. I can't wait to talk about it with more people. I can't wait to go into more detail on the podcast. Like, go see this fucking film. It is truly amazing. I can't believe they did it. I can't believe, like, I don't want to make it seem like I had doubts that the film was going to be good. You cannot stress enough how good this fucking film is. Go see it. I know you guys are excited. I'm excited for you all to go see it. I know we have our Black Panther viewing. We bought out of the theater here in DC, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody come to that and enjoy that with the people that bought tickets for us. Like, I can't wait to enjoy this with some other people and just see it, and it's gonna be great. Couple things. The second screener we saw, we did see it in 3D. Not bad, but I'm not one of those 3D in the theaters people. So, I mean, if you got 3D and IMAX, go see it. Also, what was I gonna say? The last thing I'm gonna say. There are 2 after credit scenes. There's one not too far into the credits, and there's one way at the very, very end. You gotta stay all the way to the end to see it. So there are 2 after credit scenes. Stay to watch those. I mean, again, it's a Marvel film. Stay and watch the scenes, folks. Stay and watch the scenes. Yeah, folks. But anyway, make sure you subscribe to the Movie Trailer Reviews podcast on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, so you can get all the other reviews. We're going to go in way more depth. They're going to be way longer and talk way more about this film. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and take the hit the notify button, the little bell. You get notified. Like I said, we have a bunch of other videos coming out, and yeah, I can't wait, man. It's going to be great. I can't wait for you guys to see this film. So enjoy it, and see you guys soon. Peace.